Hi, hi, everyone.
Buongiorno, ladies and gentlemen.
This is episode 9 of GuildGab, and we are post April 15th feature patch. Woohoo!
Post-apocalyptic future patch.
Yes,
No one
Role Players
survived.
Revolt feature patch.
Yes, the
Town close
landscape
cry.
is actually the cool thing I found. I don't know if you did too. Like the landscape is populated. I mean, wow.
Yes, that was something
Like,
interesting. When the patch first launched, they actually didn't have the mega server technology implemented at all. It
oh,
wasn't quite ready, but I forget if it was either by that night or early the next day they started rolling it out, and they had a list of zones that it was implemented in, maybe like 10 zones or something, and then later that day they increased it to even more. So
yeah,
hopefully that means that behind the scenes it's working very well.
yeah. Because I was shocked because I spend a lot of time in the Black Citadel, and usually it's even on like the high population server I'm on. The Black Citadel tends to be really empty. And all of a sudden, like when I was playing it, it's like all these people are all over the place.
That's
It's like
so cool.
and like the map chat's full of people talking and in different languages, and I was like, wow, this is really fucking cool, man.
See, I was
There's
going
like
to
tons of
ask you
people.
that. Now, it's supposed to separate people who speak
Yeah,
different
by languages.
languages. However, if you normally didn't see a lot of people and then suddenly you saw a ton of people, um, I wonder if that's eventually, going to be filtered out. Maybe they needed to collect
Mm.
data as far as who speaks what language, and then it's going to start getting separated if you saw a lot of different languages in the chat. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
I thought it was really cool because there's like a lot of German and French all of a sudden being
Huh.
spoken and typed. I was like, wow, really cool. I don't understand anything, but it's really cool. Yeah, it's really neat. Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
Well, I'm
because I
sure.
like playing.
I was just going to say that
Oh,
I'm sure that'll all, as people play, you know, as the servers collect data and stuff. Like I said, it'll hopefully
yeah,
that stuff will get filtered out. Although you seem to think it's kind of cool to see people speaking other languages.
love it. Yeah, there's like apparently a lot of people in the world that don't like diversity. I do. I
No,
love
I don't
it.
know. If I
Bring more
saw,
cultures in the mix. I
well,
love it,
sure, but if
baby.
they can't communicate with each other, you do need that separation. I mean, I
Oh yeah.
rarely see anything other than English on the North American servers, but if half the chat was, in Spanish or French, and I couldn't understand them and I couldn't communicate with those people, then to me that's useless text there
Yeah.
that I just have to scroll through because I can't understand it. So I would want that separated.
Oh yeah, yeah. And I mean like because it's like a European one, most of them can at least like write English to a degree, so
Right,
it tends to be the lingua franca. So most of them usually can. It's just a matter of how many want to or
right.
you know, kind of
Yeah.
thing. But of course there are certainly a lot of people over there that don't necessarily speak English very
Yeah.
well or can or
Right.
whatnot. But yeah, it's I find it really cool. I just like being surrounded by Europeans. So it's not
So
not been a mistake.
other than the Black Citadel being filled with people,
Yeah.
what was to you what was the most like impactful change to you that the feature patch brought? Like which
For me
one?
personally, yeah. Well, I mean, there's like tons, of course, but I mean, for me, the biggest thing that I love is the die changes. Just having all of my dies for all my characters there. I've been dying like crazy. It's been lots of fun.
Yeah.
And I was even able to like buy like the white dye, which previous to this was like like a lot of gold. Where it's like when I checked it on the trade store, it was like 4 gold. I was like, "Whoa, I'm gonna pick this." So I've got
Wow.
my launched my pure white dye with all my other ones, and it's like wicked. So
Wow. And now you can use that across all your characters. That is so
and
cool.
and it really is handy, like the technique that they have now, where it's that when you click on the color, all you need to do is move your mouse over, and it kind of gives you your preview,
Mm-hmm.
and then you click that. The only thing that I kept having to remind myself was that you have to actually press a button that says like apply before
Yeah,
you do it.
yeah. I have to. That's something I have to get used to too. I love the hover over and preview where the die is going to be.
Really
That's
cool,
oh my
man.
gosh, that's something that I've been wanting forever. But yeah, actually having to then apply the die when you're done is something that I have to get used to. Because before you could just click on all your dies, make your character, and you could just X out the window, and you're
Yeah.
done, and it's changed. Now you actually have to hit apply, so you have to remember to do that. Otherwise, you have to do it all over again.
Yeah, and also the talent system, trait system. Sorry, wrong
Hmm.
game. Yeah, the traits changes were really cool as well to see that
I think the traits are so
happening.
much easier now. Oh my gosh. It takes a little getting used to, and it's a little, you know, seeing your 60 trait points down to 14 is kind of a shock. Or it was
Yeah,
a 70, I think
yeah.
70 was the max. Um Down to 14 is kind of like, what? Where'd all my trait points go? And in the first day, there was so many people in map chat going, "Where's all my trait points? They took all my trait points." It's like, no, calm down. It's
Follow
the
the stupid
it's the
website,
same.
people. God,
Yeah. However,
I am.
it was a
Yeah.
little bit, just a little bit annoying or tedious to have to go through because everything got reset on every character. You had to go through and I mean, I was going out and battling and why am I dying? Oh, I don't have any trait points put in
Don't have
anything.
any traits for anything, right?
Yeah, I'd actually remember to go and reapply all my traits. But the system is so much easier now. You just click on, the major trait slot, and then there's just a list on the side that you can go through, and it checks off which one you have. It's so much easier just visually. It's easier just to figure out what's going on and what you have and what you don't have and what your bonuses are, and I love it. Absolutely love
Yeah,
this change.
and it makes like each of your points feel much more impactful when you like click the
Yes.
button to include them because it's like, oh, because this is side as opposed to just going click 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 and then
Right.
like just having like just boom, one click 100%. Okay, okay, I got 100% of that thing now. You just put one and it's like it just streamlines things so much easier, and I find it interesting as a study in like smoothing things out and changing things but not going in a completely opposite end, or like doing a huge change, because like a lot of people don't like change.
Oh, of course, of course.
But of course this is an MMORPG and darlings, that's one of the key
It
definitions
is
of them.
good that it is evolving. It is good that they are making these upgrades.
But of course, given that a lot of people can be like frightened little chickens, you need to hold their hands and go, easy, easy, here we go. Okay, just a
Hmm.
little bit closer. There you are. Here's your blankie.
Yeah, there was a
Like,
lot of, and I'm sure there still is, just a lot of explaining in map chat. Someone goes, "Why isn't my world boss timer working?" Well, those aren't right anymore. Now all the world
I
bosses are on a
know.
timer. Calm down. You didn't. Did I miss it? What the heck? Why are the timers still off after 3 days? Okay, listen. Where'd all my trait points go? And where are my dies? And oh, I've heard just about every freak out in map chat, and I haven't even played for that long since since the patch went live, and it's like you just have to get. It's gonna be a couple weeks of explaining
Yeah.
to people that things changed. It's a new system. It's okay.
I will never understand the over decade that these MMORPGs have been out, and especially with the last like 5 odd years or so when they've gotten really popular. Humanity. There are websites with information that the companies and developers post information and news on.
Yeah.
It's very easy to click that while you're watching kitten videos on YouTube and check out what's on there. It's very easy to look at that instead of
Yeah.
going to the game going, huh? Why? I hate this game. Why? Just please, just take a
Yeah.
moment. Or you can watch things like this. But I mean,
At
it's
least
like,
the community in game is usually very helpful. When someone asks a
oh
question,
yeah,
very quickly I see someone. If I don't do it, I see someone post an answer. Tell them, okay, but it changed. Here's go check out the new system. All your trait points are still there.
uh,
And though it's very easy for us who are, so extremely into the game to say, just go check the website. It explains it all there. But I really don't think that people should have to go there to find
No.
out. There should be something in game. Although with a feature patch like this, you can't really put everything in game. Like there was a pop up when you first logged in that told you that your legendaries and your ascended weapons and armor were now account bound. There was actually a little pop up that told you that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other than that, I don't think there was really any, like, you didn't get an in-game mail or anything that explained the changes to you. I mean, the splash screen, like when you the launcher, when you launch the game to update it, does have that little news feed that does tell you, April feature patch, that has a link directly to the article, where you can find everything out. So so technically that's telling you that you can go and check this stuff out, but not everybody reads that little news feed in the launcher. They just want to play the game.
Yeah,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
there's like been like a lot of like honest desire for devs to, make it so that you don't have to check the internet for stuff that's happening in
Mm-hmm.
game. They want to try to put lore, storytelling, everything you can in the game, which is well and good. And I think you're totally right. There wasn't really much in game explaining this feature patch, which I think should have been. There should have been something to just smack you in the face and say, okay, there's a ton of changes happening. Although
Right.
on the same point, I mean, the news for this feature patch has been around for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it
like,
has.
I mean, like,
They had plenty of
uh,
time to go to the website and read through all the
yeah,
changes and stuff. And
because like I mean, like, if you're one of these people that's like, oh, well, I haven't played for I don't know half a year, and I'm just going in now for the first time. Well,
yeah,
couldn't you have just checked the website once, for you to just, I mean, like, you don't have to read everything on the news website, but just have some understanding and don't go into the game go like, well, I don't know anything, it's not in here. And like, well, just, have like, take a little bit of the responsibility to just have an idea
yeah,
that things like this are coming. I guess
yeah.
it's just my
Though there's
crank
some
on that.
things like
Yeah.
there was mass confusion about where people's town clothes went. Like people had town clothes
Okay.
like in their inventory or in their, because you can't just switch to town clothes anymore. It's just your armor, and you have like one little slot that you can put your whole set of town clothes in. That the whole system has completely changed, and
Right.
you can toggle it on or off because you can wear it, most of them, in combat now. And but that you didn't just automatically have your town clothes. You actually had to go to a vendor and have them convert your town clothes to armor, and it was very confusing because that wasn't clearly told to people. And so there was mass confusion. I mean, people made blog posts and news posts and whole videos just about, here's where you go to get your town clothes. It's okay, they're not gone.
Yeah.
So that was a little confusing.
How about yourself? What were the things that stood out most for you, or that you've enjoyed the most so far? At-
Um, I mean, I mean, definitely the dyes, the whole wardrobe system. I'm loving it. I love going through and seeing what dyes, or not dyes, what armor skins I've locked and unlocked, because it's so, thank God that they put in the weapon and armor descriptions whether the skin has been unlocked or not. Thank God they did that, because
Yeah.
otherwise you would have no idea. Um, and that's just a super little convenience thing. And so I've already been doing little scouting arounds to like heart vendors and stuff, and to get like to see, do I have your skins? Do I have these skins? Do I have that skin? And just going in there and playing with the wardrobe, it's so much more fun now to play dress up. And
Is much
to
more fun.
lot more fun. And it was excuse me, really nice that you could just use the transmutation stones and crystals that you already had, and
Yeah.
transform them into transmutation charges. So I had like 40 transmutation charges, and just it's so fun to play with that whole system. And you know, you can see like, oh,
Yeah.
I never really liked my elementalist's shoes, so I can just real quickly go through, you know, I have 12 different pairs of shoes unlocked, so I can really quickly go through and see, you know, oh, I like that one better, I'm gonna apply that one, you know. And it makes it so much more fun. And now that I've seen this system, I can see how people said that the transmutation stone and transmutation crystal system was very clunky and awkward. I never really had a problem with it, but it was annoying. You had to take off your armor, you had to open one of those dialogue boxes, you had to drag them both in there, you had to pick what skin you wanted, pick what stats you wanted,
Yeah.
pick the, you know, it was all these steps that are now just so, they're just like, bam, it's so easy now. And it's going to
Yeah,
take a little
it's
getting used to, because I know some people have said, what is this wardrobe system, and I don't understand, and I don't like it, you know. It takes a little getting used to, but
I do like
I was
shade.
telling I was
Arr.
telling a guildie this last night because they were freaking out, and I said, once you get used to it, you're going to love it, unless you just hate playing dress-up dolls, and if so, that's okay.
Boys and girls can both like it because when it's in video games, it's fun. You know,
When you're doing it
'cause
to a big manly Norn or a big manly Char, it's okay.
very fun. Like I found a light armor that actually goes with my Char's butt, and it was like yes. Like I actually found a couple of them that do, as opposed to just like, you know, dressers with the bloody tail clipping out, and it's like that drives me nuts. So I was like desperately trying to find one that, you know, goes well with my Char's butt, you know, with his tail wagging, and that goes well with it. And there are a few ones. So it's like, so it's like that's good.
It's so nice. Now you
Yeah.
can just go click, 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 instead of like paging through the trading post, you know,
Yeah.
and finding light armor, which there's still not a light, medium, and heavy armor sort for on the trading post. I don't know why.
Huh.
That's something would be so nice.
Yeah, but yeah, and you know, something I found neat too that wasn't mentioned in their description of the feature patches coming up to this was now whenever you complete a heart, you
I
get a little
love the new
the heart
splash
thing
screen for
in
the hearts.
the
Oh
thing. Yeah,
my
that's
gosh, it's so
I was so
great.
surprised by that, and that's awesome because one of the fun things I really love is like when you see a little like chest dangling, and you're like ooh, so you go
Right,
click it
it's
and go,
shiny and it's moving, and you're like, "Ooh, I
yeah,
get stuff."
and
And
I like the
now,
sound effect, and it's like ching, it's
yep.
like
So now,
cool,
when you
and then
complete a heart, it comes.
you
A lot
get
of
a
people
little heart
probably don't
bubble.
even know this because they just play on their
Yeah.
80s. But yeah, now when you complete a heart quest, right above your map, like if you like complete your dailies, you get that little chest that pops up above your mini map. Now, when you complete a heart, there's a little heart icon that comes above your mini map. You don't get a mail anymore that you have to open and take out the money and then delete it.
Yeah,
It's just a
and
little heart. You click it, a dialogue box, a splash screen comes up. It has the dialogue that would have been in the mail that says, you know, thank you for helping me, and, you know, NPC talk, and then it has, you know, and karma. Did you get karma before for completing
no,
heart
karma
quests?
and
You get
coins.
karma
Yeah,
and coins for
yeah.
completing the heart
Each
quest, and
heart
you
you
just
do.
click accept, and there you go.
Yeah,
It's
so
woo.
it's
That is
fantastic.
so cool. I was like that. I don't know why, but that just tickled me. I have a million alts, so and I'm leveling them up, so I still do you know, a lot of heart quests and stuff, and that just that tickled me when I saw that. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. It should have been like
Yeah,
that from the beginning.
yeah, well, yeah. There's gonna be a lot of people saying like this should have been like this in the beginning.
Yeah, yeah,
Totally, but I mean, better late than never. But yeah,
absolutely.
it's I really enjoy it because it really when you're doing like those hearts now, like whenever it happens, it throws it in your face, so you get to okay, I just completed this thing because like a lot of times when you're doing because you don't have to click on like a exclamation mark, you just need to go into the zone and automatically the quest starts
Yeah,
going and you can collect your things and do your stuff. When you finish it, it just goes like jing and that's it. But now you can click on the
you
thing
get a
and go,
little
oh
mail that
okay.
you're like, I don't care, I take delete. But yeah, now it's
Whereas
like an
now,
accomplishment. It seems
yeah,
more like an
exactly.
accomplishment, like dun 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 dun. I mean, this big giant screen comes up and it's like, da da, you
Yeah,
have completed this hard quest.
yeah. It it like makes completing the individual hearts so much more fun because it's like, oh, okay, yeah, I've completed this, and that's the whole point of MMORPGs is
Hmm.
completing, doing and completing things and
And
getting a good
yes,
feeling from it.
exactly. And it actually tells you, it reminds you a new merchant is now available because every heart quest NPC is a merchant that after you complete the heart quest, you can go and get stuff from that merchant. And this is even more important now because of unlocking skins, because there's heart merchants that have unique skins. So
Right.
when you complete the heart quest, it actually tells you go back if you want. You don't have to, but go back and talk to them because now they have stuff you can buy that you couldn't buy before.
Yes.
So
Just
it's just
pretty awesome,
awesome.
yeah.
It's just awesome.
Like it like feels like when you actually like get to another level, like that kind of like
Mm,
feeling
mm-hmm.
of like the splash, which you know it's really kind of cool because like with them changing the traits to be coming to you a lot less often, um, it's a nice kind of way to kind of offset that because like now every level you get, you're not getting a trait point, which makes you go like, oh, it makes
Right.
getting
You
a
don't get
level
a
not as
trait
much
point every
fun.
level.
But now, every time you complete one heart, you get a little bit of coin and karma and a big splash saying, "Congratulations, beautiful! You completed this." And that's like, cool, man. This is like,
Yeah.
there's just so many quality of life improvements in this. And
Yeah, it's great.
I just love it, man. And just like the fact that we're not paying sub fees for this and we get something like this, that's just so cool. It just fe feels like a big hug from Arena, and it's like, thanks.
The biggest big hug for me from ArenaNet was still the wallet. The account wallet I think was the biggest, like
That thing's pretty
everyone
cool.
just went, "Oh my god, this is so cool."
And now I got this feature
I
patch.
can't
Just
even
like,
imagine anymore.
stop, man.
I can't even imagine anymore gold being per character and you having to like bank it into your bank in order to like transfer it and save it up like it
Yeah,
I mean, like you think back to how it started and I mean, think of all the things like even like next year how we're going to, think back and man, do you remember when when we didn't have this wardrobe system and you had to use transmutation stones and
and
do
like
you remember when we
when
had
like
to
the
click a
hearts
million times?
wouldn't
Yeah.
splash up.
Do you remember when we had
Yeah,
to click a million times in order to level up all our traits? And I mean, to
yeah,
be
I know.
honest, leveling up all my alts and getting a trait point every single level was kind of annoying because all I
Yeah,
would do is, I would decide which, what was the next line I wanted 5 points in. You start that, and then every level you just have to open up the UI, open up the interface, go to that tab, find the traits, and then just click your next point into
hmm
there, and it's like it was just busy work. I felt,
yeah,
because you knew you were gonna put it in that same trait line. Because what's the point until you get to that next minor or major trait?
oh yeah,
And so it just felt like busy work. And now I don't care that you have to wait a little longer to get your trait points because when you do, like you said, when you do put that 1 point in, it's impactful.
yeah.
That 1 point,
Means
so
something
it
to you.
means
Yeah,
something when you put that point in. So, yay!
yeah. I mean, like stuff like this feature patch are why I'm getting like addicted to MMORPGs, and I like don't really play any other kind of video games because I love this thing. Like I love that they go through these big changes that changes all these systems, and just as like you get into a game, you love it, you're playing it, you're leveling up, you like the story, and it just keeps going. Not only the story keeps evolving and continuing, but then also all these big features keep on getting updated
Mm-hmm.
like every year, which is like, yes, I love this thing. I love it. I love change, but I guess it's because I'm a
Embrace the
Buddhist. Uh,
change. It's good.
I'm a Buddhist man, so change is constant. It's one of the things of Buddhism is just the idea that change is always happening, like such as like everything is going to be destroyed and is in the process of falling apart. So change is inevitable. So it's you just gotta move with it, man.
Most of
But
it is
yeah,
for the
I love
good.
it. Oh yeah, yeah, and just I just like it because change always happens, man. You just gotta move with it. Like how KFC stopped making my favorite stuff, and I gotta move with it. luckily Pizza Hut makes really good hot wings, so I'm moving, evolving with it. I'm changing my ordering out
And
techniques now because
see,
KFC.
if KFC never discontinued that, then you wouldn't have ever gone to Pizza Hut, and maybe Pizza Hut will end up being the best thing
Exactly.
ever.
Well, they are pretty good, and of course
Probably
the
not.
nice thing is that when you order from something like Pizza Hut, you could order everything from their menu, and they don't just do fried chicken or just pizza. They do, all their stuff, so you can order all kinds of stuff. So it's probably for the best, but it can be hard to adjusting to change, but yeah, but in the game sphere, yeah, still, yeah, I love all these changes, and especially those heart things, because I like still have to level up all my characters anyways, so I'll be completing a lot of hearts, and that's really cool that we're getting a little bit of coin, and it's just
Well, we
fun to
always
get
got the coin. It was
on that.
just you had to go through the mail and accept it and stuff. But I don't know if you were getting the karma before.
Oh, I didn't know we were actually getting the coin from the mails.
Yeah, when you get the mail, there's
Click
coins
on
you
that.
you have to accept. I hope you weren't just deleting the mail. Oh no.
No, no, they're just like a long cavalcade of like one's like, I don't feel like looking at it. So like, I didn't know that you actually got a little bit of coin. I thought it
Yeah.
was just a click to just read it. And I was like,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they've always sent you coin.
okay, I gotta
It
get more coin.
it's not much. It's at the higher levels it's maybe a couple silver, but it's something.
Yeah, it's like pennies or something. Yeah, but
Um
yeah, yeah, it's
and
cool, man.
what was I going to say? I forgot. um It'll make map completion a lot more fun for you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, I know. I can't believe that we're how many years into this game and we still can only have 10 males. The maximum is 10 males and then
Oh,
you have to start deleting. Maybe you have so many um, heart quest males piled up
they
in
haven't
there and
read.
you don't even know because you've never even deleted any
Yeah,
males.
yeah. I've got at least like well over 10, I'm sure, and most of them. Just like tons of them are just like,
Well, there
man,
you
I don't
go.
want
That's why you
that.
didn't even know. And see, because and it doesn't even notify you. I've had times where my mailbox was maxed out, and someone will say, "Oh, I sent you something," and I'm like, "I didn't get it," and and then there was this mass confusion. They're like, "Well, I sent it to you." I'm like, "Well, maybe you typed my name wrong. I don't know." Oh my gosh. Well, I don't know. I didn't get it. Maybe there's lag. No, my mailbox was full. And as soon as I
Yeah.
deleted some mails, there it popped up. It's in the queue. Like if you get more mails, they're in the queue. You just have to delete mails in order for them to show up. But 10? Why 10? That's such a tiny amount. I don't know why they haven't made that bigger. I don't know. Weird.
Yeah, I guess they're probably just not thinking. I would
I'm
assume.
sure they have much more important priorities than increasing the size of the mailbox.
Yeah, most likely.
It's not a
Uh,
thing that I'm sure people want over other things,
yes.
like a countdown dice. Yay! And I went through.
Yeah,
What was
it's
really fun is
so
all the die
awesome.
prices have, of course, dropped back down drastically. Like
Which is fantastic. Yeah.
stuff that was 20 silver a week ago is back down to like 40 copper. So I think I have all the
Yeah.
fine blue dies now. I just went through and it tells you if you've already unlocked the die. So now that they're account bound, I can go there to the trading post on any character and just go down the list, and see which ones I don't have. And it's nice because each of them was like 40 or 50 copper. It was awesome.
Yeah, like I was able to get my just like pure white dye, which was like
I can't believe
a lot of gold before,
I
and
didn't
those
even
and
think to look at. Yeah, I've in the past I've bought white dye twice. So one of them I got an unidentified dye back for,
mhm.
because I had two of them, and it was, I don't know, it was probably like 15 gold or something crazy, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah, oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Whereas like now it was like four
Now
gold for me,
now
I
I
think, and I was
feel
like, okay, I can
now
get
I
down.
feel really bad for buying Abyss before the patch and paying like 35 gold for it.
Oh my
I
God,
feel really bad
yeah,
now. It's probably like everything's all cheap right now.
yeah, but oh man, yeah, like this, the dye system and It's so awesome. I love that improvement, and just all these little quality of life things have just been fantastic, and it's just making me more and more excited for whenever the heck season two starts.
Yeah.
This is such a great way to prep for like another season, as it were. Oh
And
God, I can't.
and
So excited for
with
season two.
the um with the sale they just had on the game, it was 24.99. That sale is over now, I believe, but
Yeah,
um I know a lot of people who bought it, and I've heard of a lot of people who bought it and who are playing
yeah,
now, and so now
awesome.
their leveling up experience is going to be really cool. So
So
I'm
much better.
excited for those people. Yeah, and like I said, I still have a lot of low level characters, so it'll be fun to level them up.
Guild Wars 2 is just starting. It's like, yeah, like it's kind of funny because I always felt before that there was a large community for this game, and I think it's only going to grow now, especially the fact that it's out and running as opposed to a lot of other ones that are either like just coming out or going to be coming out, and they're not sure of their audience. Whereas this one now, it has been out and people can, yay or nay
Hmm.
it, but now we're going to be starting fresh. Arena has learned a lot over this last year and a half or so, and we're going to be getting into some now. Now we get to benefit from it when season two finally starts again, and
Yeah.
I can't wait. Oh, I'm so pumped for this. Like when I was watching some Visual Wood podcast, Matt was like just like had this like 5 minute little rant. I don't know if it was on a Visual Wood or one of his other ones, but he was just having this little rant saying like, "Man, I'm so excited about the Jungle Dragon and season two," and like he like many others have been easily critiquing the Living Story, whereas like he's just super excited for season two, and me too. There's this
Yeah.
energy. I think
I
people
love
were like, "Yeah, man, I'm pumped for the season two, man."
yeah. It's
Torture Moth, and it's
it's
gonna be
great
cool.
seeing the excitement from everyone about something like this. I love watching. I was watching
It's
one night on
fake.
YouTube. I was watching reactions to they just there was a live stream recently of the next Super Smash Brothers. And I was watching some people's live reactions to like the announcements and stuff they made, and then that got me looking through YouTube for reaction videos, which is kind of like what I try and do on my channel to Guild
Right?
Wars
Yeah.
2. And just seeing some of these, like, these people, like, people will jump up and down, they'll get excited, people will literally cry, like I have, at games that they love. And it's just so
Right.
cool to see those just genuine reactions to something, because it's just, you're watching someone, you know, react to something that it means so much to them, and something that they truly love, and it gets them excited, and it's just the coolest thing to me to watch that.
Yeah.
And because it makes you happy when you watch someone react like that and get so happy about something. It makes you happy. How can you not smile at someone freaking out because something is so awesome they can't handle it?
I think my favorite one is that there's like a reaction video of these two teenage girls, um, and they're like being like a film to the reaction to the first Hobbit trailer. And the really cute thing about it is that three of the actors who play the elves are like being filmed watching this video of these like of these two girls,
Yeah.
and it's so flippin' adorable because it's like the girl who like plays the girl elf, and then Orlando Bloom and the other guy who plays like the king elf, and they're like all three of them are like watching these two girls, and it's really adorable because like these really cute little teenage girls, and like her eyes literally become like the size of like anime characters, and she's going like, oh, like you can like hear like Gandalf's voice and everything in the background. And her eyes literally become the size of like anime girls, and like her friends bouncing and she's bouncing, and
I've seen that. It's adorable.
it's like this is why I love women. They're so freaking adorable. It's like, it's like man, and also just like being bitter, being like, where were these girls when I was that age? And it's like, yeah, but it was so adorable. Yeah, it was so adorable. Like her eyes, literally, she's like a little puppy human. I was like, just so excited for like fantasy. It's like that's awesome. Fantasy is so wicked, and Just like I mean, like for me personally, just for I don't know if it's just my luck of where I was born and raised in my age, but man, finding cool girls, like yourself that are really sincerely into this stuff, like fantasy, you girls were not easy to find. Just number wise, most of the girls come across, they'd be like, oh yeah, it's okay, it's cool. Oh yeah, Lord, it's cool. It's alright. It's like finding ones that really like it. It's like
Yeah.
it's always so hard, so it's so
Not
beautiful to
everyone knows
see
how to express that
that
passion.
love. Yeah, and it's so beautiful to see that love, and that video in particular was just so cute. Cause just like watching the actors, like
Yeah.
wa-
I've
watching
seen
these
that. It's
girls
so great.
who have no idea that the actors are watching them. I just thought that was
Oh,
so
I'm sure
adorable.
they've seen that video. They need to make a
Now, yeah,
reaction video of them
that
reacting to the actors reacting to them reacting to The Hobbit.
which I'm sure like their faces will probably
There
become so
probably
red, they'll
is.
probably explode.
Yeah, that would be head explode.
Yeah, that's just yeah. But yeah. I mean, just in general, whatever your gender is, I mean, like that kind of passion is beautiful. Just expressing it and getting that excited for like this stuff and
Yeah,
for games in
I love
particular.
it.
Games are so much fun. It's so cool that we can actually more and more people can just proudly say that yeah, I'm a gamer, or yeah, gaming is my big interest, and
Mm-hmm.
to just be really into this stuff, like to be passionate for Guild Wars and WoW and WildStar or ESO, whatever, and
It is
just
really
really,
amazing that our culture nowadays, the our society, and I accredit it to the internet and geeks being able to, get together and talk to each other and exchange ideas and exchange this passion with each other, from all over the world. It's made it more acceptable
yeah,
mainstream. And
it's a
like,
very beautiful thing.
when I was little, I got teased for being a geek. If I wore
Yeah.
a Pokemon shirt or a Sailor Moon shirt to school, and this was high school, I'm not talking elementary
Yeah.
school, I'm talking high school,
Yeah.
wearing those kind of things, like I would get teased. I had like a couple friends who were my friends and understood because they liked the same things, but that was a very small group. It wasn't like today, where, okay, that's accepting to be a geek and to be into anime and video games and stuff. No,
Yeah.
like, when I was in school, it wasn't accepted. I got teased relentlessly for that,
Oh, yeah.
and I am so glad that it's different now.
Yeah, because like with like the other name that I had originally for the show, the Over 30 Guildcast, for folks like you and
Geezer,
myself.
guild geezers.
Exactly, it's like we can remember when it wasn't so cool or
You
geek
kids
chic.
nowadays have it so easy.
Now, of course, back in my day, I was a punk, and when I was in high school, they made fun of me for countless other reasons, like green hair and all kinds of nationalities and studs and ripped jeans and all kinds of crazy stuff.
It wasn't
I'm
cool to
actually
have chihuahuas when you
Jack.
were little.
God.
No, chihuahuas have always been cool.
Well, he's pretty cute. His name popped up
Yeah.
as he licks your boogers.
I
Yeah.
demand a chihuahua mini pet.
Well, you
Make
already
it
have one in
happen.
real life. You already have one in real life, though.
Oh, yeah, they do. But I need them in game too.
Yeah, it's just, yeah, man, yeah. I mean, it's pretty wicked, yeah. Because I mean, like for me, like I was always made fun of countless other reasons about because I'm weird. But just yeah, it's wicked that more and more people are into the gamer stuff and the cosplay stuff that feels like it's just exploded over the last
Oh,
5 years.
absolutely.
Especially with all these like cosplay models and stuff. Like, yeah, I mean, like when I was in my teens and my 20s, this stuff did not exist. It's like, or well, like the internet wasn't nearly a big thing back then either. I mean, when I was a teenager, we didn't have cell
Do you
phones.
kids understand the fact that the internet was in my life was not a thing? It did not exist until I was 13. I was 13 before the internet existed in my life. I know it was
Exactly.
around before then, but I didn't and that was AOL.
Exactly. And I'm sure your man T has even better stories. Because he's older than both of us by a little bit, so he could be even more. It's like, back in my day, still, yes. didn't know what this freaking cosplay was. We just dressed up for the hell of it, you know? Didn't even have a name called cosplay. We were just freaks.
Cosplay was Halloween. It happened one day a year. It was called Halloween.
Or it was just being a big dork, and we loved it because we just dressed up, and people went, "Man, are they those weird Dungeons and Dragons ones? I heard they go insane."
Yeah, that's what it was. It was D&D.
It's like, yeah, that's what we do. Woohoo! We play fight with giant swords.
And then we just beat each other with sticks.
Exactly. Or with myself, I was just going to punk gigs and raves and underpasses and stuff, where you just dressed like a nutcase anyway, so it's great, yeah. Every kid should go through a punk phase, you know. That's
Can't say I ever did that.
It's good. It's fun. You dye your hair all different colors, try to be as weird as possible, and put studs on yourself, wear blazers and ties, and you know, it's get made fun of by everybody, including the punks and the freaks. It's great fun. I didn't like fit into any of the groups. It's like there was like the preppies, and then there was like the skaters. Oh yeah, that was a big thing. The skaters. There was the skaters and the preppies, and of course the skaters had skateboards. I hated skateboards, and then there was me bouncing around like woohoo, like a weird Tigger thing, and everybody being like, "Man, that thing's weird." It's like, yeah, and I like knew too much, so whenever anyone tried making fun of me, I'd like kind of deconstruct their thing. They'd be like, "Hey, faggot," and I'd be like, "I'm not a piece of wood, actually, because that's what it means. You know, they throw pieces of wood onto fire." They'd be like, "Huh?" or it's like, "You're a fag," and be like, "No, actually, I'm not a cigarette," and they'd be like, "What?"
You were that guy.
Yeah, I would deconstruct bullies, so I'd be like, like blah 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 blah, and they'd be like, "You're supposed to be."
We're gonna go make fun of this guy over here.
Yeah, pretty much. Plus, I also kind of looked probably a little intimidating because I was always very in my head, and I was kind of, I don't know if I was very big, but I looked very kind of ticked off, and I was alone, and I loved wearing long, trenchy, dark coats and stuff, so they tended to stay alone. Although they tried insulting me from afar, but no one actually tried messing with me, because then I'd get angry and they'd run in terror. So, that's what you do, kids. You just scare your bullies like crazy.
Just act weird, though. Go away.
Exactly.
Make them uncomfortable.
Yes. That's exactly what you do. If they start calling you like fag and all this stuff, just be like, just really make them uncomfortable, and just like, you know, I did a lot of crazy stuff that made them be like, he's not getting offended.
Right.
This isn't fun.
Right.
I'd be like, woohoo! Yeah. I actually got called insults for wearing flares, which I never quite understood that, because it was like kind of like the hippie look thing I was kind of going for. So I would make these flares in my pants, and like I got made fun of those, like called like fag for that. I was like, I don't understand the logic, so I'd like, yeah, just deconstruct.
Well, bullies don't need logic.
No,
knocked
no.
over my tower. Anyway,
tips on bullying from GuildGab, yes. But yeah, it's just fantastic.
There's not too much else that I mean, there was a lot of other updates and stuff, but none that I've really had too much experience with. Like, I'm sure I've heard all the PvP changes are amazing, but I'm sorry, I don't PvP at all. So
Me too.
I've seen videos of the interface though, and the interface looks amazing. Rather than going around to merchants and collecting all your sigils and runes and stuff, now it's just like a menu. Pick what you want. That has to be incredibly nice. And World versus World experience, I do some World versus World now and again, so that's going to be nice, is having all the characters, the World versus World experience being consolidated. That's going to be really nice. Because sometimes I'll go on there with a lower level, a character that I haven't World versus World did very much and it's like then they're just like starting from zero. It's kind of weird.
Yeah. I also wanted to mention just to throw in was that I was watching like a interview with Richie Procopio, isn't it? Yes. I think that's Greek. Do you think it's Greek?
I have no idea.
But he was interviewing the guys from WildStar, and I found this really kind of cool. Was that, like a lot of MMO RPGs? I think it's because it's like a holdover from like the Sega Super NES wars, of that people can be really kind of passionate about the game or one company, and can be really defensive and fight against other ones, or feel like need to attack each other. So I think that's kind of a holdover that a lot of us can have. But it was really kind of cool because the head guy from Carbine was saying how he actually talks with the guys from ArenaNet, and they actually like each other, which I thought was so cool. And it's really cool, of course, because Guild Wars 2 has been having the telegraph systems for the combat in it more and more. And you were saying that like the world bosses all now have telegraphs.
Yes, the world bosses' telegraphs have been updated so that they're extremely visible now. And it's really nice. So much so that I heard in map chat some people were saying, wow, they gave the world bosses new AoE attacks. They gave them all these new attacks, and people were going, no, they've always had these attacks. Now you can just actually see them. You can actually see where they're going to land, and it's really nice. It's very impressive.
Yeah, I just thought that was really cool that like the two companies are interacting. I mean, they both have the same publisher, but then they don't have to like talk with each other, but they do, and I thought that was really cool. So
that is cool.
I kind of feel like by supporting Guild Wars 2, I'm supporting WildStar, and by supporting WildStar, I'm supporting Guild Wars 2, because they already have the same publisher, but the fact that they're both interacting with each other and like each other, it's like cool, man. When I'm supporting both, I'm supporting each other.
Yeah,
you know?
you said you were
awesome, man.
You were thinking about getting WildStar, like you actually decided that you're gonna get it.
I think I'm definitely going to jump on board, whether I pay the sub or try to just do the creds thing, because I've got the time on my hands to do the cred thing, so I could easily do that probably. But I could even be happy to just like do their sub thing, because they have a thing where it's like you can pay like $10 or $11 a month. So even though I'm low income, that still isn't too bad. But I also just really love the direction these guys are going in, and the fact that they're interacting with ArenaNet, and like, because I'm like a solo player and I'm totally happy and proud of that. And Guild Wars 2, one reason I love it is like with the personal story, is that offers something for someone that wants the story essentially.
Yeah.
Like first and foremost. And then Carvine also understands this by saying that the key narrative things that happen in WildStar, like endgame onwards, are not going to happen in the big raids. Those things are going to be big and complicated and hard. But the actual big stories, because most raiders don't care about stories, and it's so wonderful to hear this from a game developer, but they're saying that they understand that, and that they're specifically making solo content with all the other content they're doing. And that's just like, they're not dismissing people like myself that play MMORPGs solo, and we like that, because there's other things like how Guild Wars 2 has the living story, which is like the ultimate, for me, that's why I love it so much, is that it's very much something I can go in there and I don't necessarily need a big organized raid. I can just go in there and I can experience the story evolving, like at Halloween with like his son coming out of nowhere and all that cool stuff. And yeah, that's stuff I love, man. So I just felt like jumping on that.
Nice. Very
Loving that
nice.
stuff, man. And you know, this is cool because WildStar and Guild Wars 2 complement each other really well, because like one's the sci-fi and one can be my fantasy. So complement very well, I find. So that's kind of cool.
Very nice.
Because I'm kind of on the fence. I probably will go with WoW, but still, they make it so hard to love them. You know, it's like they make so many frustrating things. It's just like, because like WildStar, for instance, has relented by saying that they're going to have different body types for their characters, like how like Guild Wars 2 has different body types, and so that they're going to bring that in. Whereas I'll bet you anything, the new models look great in WoW, but I'll bet you anything they're not going to give you different body types, because they're being so frackin' conservative, and they probably won't have new body types. It's ridiculous because it's so easy for them to do that. You know, it's just give a thin orc and a big orc. You know, like, guys, you could just give like 3 body types. Like, or two. Just let's have two body types. Big, overly muscled. It's not as muscled. Just give us that, man. I mean, you're 10 years old. Come on. So, frustrating. Yeah, but yeah, no, I'm probably definitely gonna go for Wildstar when that baby comes out with my Guild Wars for sure. Yeah. So, like I said, I'm just addicted to these MMORPGs. I really dig the way they do things, like getting us this awesome feature patch that just gives everything a real shake up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love it. Just love this stuff.
We actually got I kind of asked last minute if we had any questions for this GuildGab, and Andra asked again another question. Just said, "Is there something that you guys didn't like about the feature patch?" And I know we kind of talked about everything. We mentioned some stuff, but the one thing that I wanted to say specifically was that it's not something that's a make or break for me. But what they did, they gave us all the stuff, but something that they kind of took away was options for the town close. And I heard a lot of backlash from a lot of people, especially who roleplay, about not liking how the town close work now. Because if you didn't know, town clothes now, as we said, you talk to a vendor and you can get sets, a single set of town clothes to then use. You can use them as armor now, which is great, which enhances the options, but they're one single set now. You can't mix and match them like you could before. You can't like put this top with this bottom and with these shoes. You can't mix and match anymore. They're single outfits. And the other but that's not as bad, I think, as there's a certain number of them that you cannot use in combat, like your original town clothes that you start the game with by default. Those have been turned into a tonic that you use. You simply use a tonic and you have those town clothes on for whatever period of time. The downside about this is they're not dyeable. So it's defaulted, like for my human female, it's defaulted back to black and red, which is, but like I had this really cute, like pink and white. I had changed it to pink and white and it was cute. And then like when I'm just standing around messing around with my guildmates or waiting to start a dungeon or something and dancing or something, sometimes I would switch over to the town clothes just because it's fun. It's something else to do. It's something else to kind of change up that look, and I can't really do that anymore. Or I guess you can, because if you have something in your town clothes slot, you can just check it or uncheck it, kind of like how you can hide or unhide like your helm or your shoulders or your gloves. You can just hide it or unhide it, so that's kind of like putting town clothes on. But it's different. And I think that people who had like if I was a role player and I had that default costume and I had dyed it a very certain way and that was like my character's signature look, I all of a sudden lost that signature look.
Yeah.
And I feel really bad for people who played the game like that, because that takes away a lot of that took away options that they had. So those people specifically kind of got screwed with this patch. I'm sure there's reasons that they had to do it that way. I'm sure there's programming reasons and all kinds of other reasons that we don't even know behind the scenes that they kind of had to do this, but I just think it's kind of a shame. So that's definitely the thing that I don't like the most about the feature pack.
I could see that. Yeah, that seems like a strange thing that they do that. I mean, you could probably like reason their reasonings for it, but it definitely does kind of screw over the role players, because I can see that being pretty important. But for me personally though, there's not a lot in the patch that's I mean, like even though there's a lot of stuff happening in the patch, it's a lot of stuff that I'm not seeing a lot of end result from yet.
It
But
is still very new. Yeah.
Yeah, and like a lot of it's just kind of quality of life. So and all the quality of life things that have been implemented, I'm really a fan of. So I haven't seen a lot of negatives. I've been trying to think if there's anything particularly negative. Um,
There's not a lot.
yeah, I mean, well, I would have kind of preferred, honestly, a bit more, insofar as, like more spells, for instance, that kind of thing,
Oh, you still want more skills?
and whatnot. Although, I mean, they did give one new ability for each trait, which is like I think 40 new abilities. So that is a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, we did get new traits.
I mean that that is a lot, but it would have been nice to, I don't know, gotten something a little more. I don't know, just something a bit more flashy, I guess. Something like, like a new weapon or something like that.
Yeah.
New race. Just but that stuff will probably just come, I guess.
Yeah, it'll come. I mean, they with every other living story release, they sprinkled in some either quality of life or there was the one I think it was with the Tower of Nightmares. We got new healing skills.
Yeah,
Everybody
basically.
got that same one with the that takes the toxins off you, but then like the next patch, every class got a unique healing skill. So I'm confident that there's going to be little things sprinkled in here and there, just
Although,
like they've always done.
for that though, I think I remember them saying that they kind of didn't want to go back to that system, that they liked the idea of just doing the updates as story content and then doing like a separate feature patch for those
Hmm.
kind of things. So I'm kind of wondering if they are indeed going to do that, because
Hmm.
so that we may end up having like multiple feature patches throughout a season, for instance. Like,
Hmm. I think I would definitely prefer it it being little by little, because then you get introduced to a feature, and then it's like that's the focus, like that gets all of the attention, if that makes any sense. Like that you
mm,
get to get used to that one feature, and then you get another feature, and then another feature, like every couple weeks you're getting a little improvement to the game
yeah.
along with all the story, and I think that's the way that I would prefer it.
I like it to be able to, because when you do it that way, you can make it kind of thematic, so that with like
That's
the Tower
yeah,
of Nightmare,
that's
when like
true.
the antitoxin spell comes out, it's really kind of fun to do that. It's like, and because Arena has said kind of that they want to do it so that there's like a small patch in the month, and then there's a bigger patch in the month, and they
Right.
really want to be able to tell a lot of small stories and tell the overarching story a lot better, so that they'll have like quote unquote like major mini story arcs happening throughout the season that will kind of like end, maybe take like a couple months, but they'll still have the overarching one going.
Mm-hmm.
So in a system like that, where it's like a kind of a smaller patch and then a bigger meatier patch, they could do a system like that where they still include the actual gameplay features and stuff like that per month, like just putting that with like the larger patch, and just it's really kind of fun to think of the ways that they can make it thematic, which I think is kind of fun.
Mm-hmm.
And that way, like new gear sets that you can buy off the gem store can always be thematic instead of just being totally random. They could do it like they've done it. For instance, again, the Tower Nightmare, that they had like I think it was like gloves and shoulders that were like
Yeah.
Nightmare Courtish. So I find that a lot of fun, because that was one of the fun things with Living Stories. Like, oh, it's cool to see the story and instances and stuff you can do in it, but then also what kind of goodies do you have? That's kind of
Right.
second half that makes it really fun. So
Mm-hmm.
I would really like it that kind of way. Yeah, for sure. Um, so it'll be interesting to see. I'm hoping, and I'm gonna assume that next week sometime we're probably gonna get some news on what's happening next. Um,
Yeah, I hope we at least get
Dying to
news.
know.
Yeah.
I just want to know, well, when is it going to happen, guys? Tell us. Tell us.
Yeah,
So,
I'm pretty confident we're at least going to get some news soon. I mean, if even if the actual patch, if the actual season 2 is a little ways off, then I'm confident that they're at least going to tell us
yeah,
or maybe give us a little tiny teaser or something,
yeah.
even just an image. Like they've done that, like just give us like one image, even if it's just like a shadow, like the Tower of Nightmares. They gave us like a
Yep.
shadow of the tower, and like people started then, and that's all the speculation started. People started speculating,
Hmm.
what is that? Or perhaps there will be something put on the atlas. Maybe we need to keep our eyes on the atlas and see if there's
Yeah, it'd be
anything
kind of
new,
interesting.
any new little points of interest that are added in there. Take a look at the Brisbane Wildlands and see if anything new has been added.
I am definitely hoping that the season will start no later than like June 3rd, which is the arrival of a certain other MMO. So I don't think it's going to be any later than that.
Oh, I
So
sure hope we don't have to wait over a month and a half.
yeah,
But
I'm going to guess maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks at the most before it starts up. That's from today. 2 weeks, maybe three at the most. But definitely in May. It's got to start in May.
I agree.
It'll
I
be
agree.
it'll be
A May
too
start would
long of
be
a wait.
very nice.
Which I mean, like 1 month to wait for content in MMOs, especially like a new season expansion, isn't exactly long.
Yeah,
Um,
we've just
like
been spoiled.
yeah, it's like certain other MMOs, Warcraft, that are waiting forever, like till November probably. Um, so like 1 month probably isn't much, but of course, like yeah, the Guild community would be like, "What? I can't believe I have to wait 1 month for season two." It's like, dude, really? Like,
Yeah.
and I seriously doubt it'll be even like 1 month. It's probably gonna be like 2 or 3 weeks at the most. And like even even if it is like 2 or 3 weeks, like I bet you anything like Arena will be saying like, "We're really sorry it's gonna take this long,
Yeah.
guys," but it's like
Yeah.
it's only like 3 weeks.
Like
It's
when
like,
they
guys,
at
it's okay.
Christmas in December they like skipped a week. They're like, we're gonna take a
Yeah,
month, and they're like, we're so sorry, and everyone's like, oh my god.
yeah, I know. And they're
Actually I know.
yeah,
I think in
it
general
was like
people
less
are
than a
like,
month
dude,
actually.
it's fine. It's Christmas
Yeah,
time.
yeah, it's
Like,
Christmas.
we've got stuff going on too. So
Yeah,
just wait till the new year and give us the new content in a month. It's cool. It's cool.
yeah. That was really kind of funny. They're like, "We're so sorry, guys. We're so sorry. You have to wait 2 more weeks. We're so sorry." It's like, it's okay, guys. Warcraft players have been on Siege of Orgrimmar since October. Like,
We ain't paying for it. We're not.
yeah, exactly. And they have been paying for it, and it's like it's still
Yep.
never gonna come out. But yeah, so it's like, yeah, it's definitely gonna be in May sometime. And it'd be so cool because May is such a great time for when summer in most places in the world starts.
Yeah.
Most places, hopefully.
Well,
Yeah,
I think we should wrap this up.
yeah, I think
Um,
so.
One thing I wanted to mention was the background that you see in the background of our GuildGab here. If it's a time like this where there's nothing really relevant, like there's no new like concept art that they put out, or there's no new character to feature, I just kind of like find a screenshot that I've taken in the game. Like the one right now that we have for this episode is I was doing World versus World a couple weeks ago, and there's an amazing um basically like a ring of golems. I'm kind of describing this because I can't see this right now.
Cool.
It's like this. There's like these omega golems, like probably 20 of them in like
Oh,
these two
cool.
rings like around me, and it was pretty
Nice.
neat. I'm like, look at all these golems. Oh my god. So, I just go to my screenshot folder if there's nothing new and just look for something like this, something cool that fits with like the cuz you only see the top and the bottom. So why I'm mentioning this is that if there's nothing new, like new character, new concept art, like I said, you guys are welcome to submit screenshots for the background of the GuildGab.
That'd be
episode.
fun.
So you can you send it however you want. You can email me. You can go to my Twitter or my Facebook or whatever you want, and just make it a screenshot that you've taken. Don't go and like steal one off the internet. You know, take your screenshot. You know, keep in mind that not everything will work just because of the format, because you only see the top and the bottom of it. And just send some in, and I'll pick the one that works the best, and maybe your screenshot can be in the background of the GuildGab. Okay?
And you can win our love and praise. And I have a request to you, Miss Aurora Peachiness.
Yes.
Since you have a Sailor Moon outfit in your banks, correct?
In my arsenal. Oh, in my, are you talking real life or Guild Wars? Because I have both.
That's true. That's true. You do have in Guild Wars too. But
Yes.
although you could always wear that Sailor Moon outfit if you feel like it, which would probably get a lot of viewers. But in the game itself,
Halloween.
is I would love to see this, and I'm sure everyone else would too. Can you please make a female Char and please deck her out in the Sailor Moon outfit, because that just would look so amazing. And I think everyone here wants to see that, so just
No, I think
make
you might
make
be
a
the only
female
one.
Char. But it'd be so adorable and hilarious. So make a female
Do
Char.
the Char
and
even
give her
have
the-
skirts?
Yes, but it just looks bad on them because of their tails. But it could look really cute though, because you actually have the outfit, and I have no idea how long it would take me to actually
No,
get
see,
the
it
Sailor
doesn't
outfit.
translate. I already looked because you mentioned this to me like yesterday, and it doesn't
Yeah.
translate because the skirt is the Acolyte skirt, and I looked at the Acolyte skirt on the chart, and it's pants.
Oh.
So it doesn't. And isn't there not female and male char armor? Isn't it just like all the same? Or am I wrong?
Yes, it
So
is all
then
the
there's
same.
probably not any kind of like short, cute skirt because that wouldn't
Oh.
work on a guy, you know? I'm
Well,
sure
that
there's.
sucks.
Sorry to dash your
I want
your
to see a giant
big hairy
anthropomorphic
Sailor Moon
kitty.
dreams.
Yes, I want to see a giant anthropomorphic kitty in a Sailor Moon outfit. That'd be so cute. Whereas, like,
I've done 10 years of anime conventions. I've seen it all, and I don't want to see it anymore.
yeah, I've seen like a Char though. You know, I mean, like grown
There are
human
some
men.
sweet Char
no,
cosplays out
but,
there.
but Char ones, yeah.
There are some sweet Char cosplays that exist.
Yeah, I've seen some. I put some real work.
Oh
in those
man,
babies.
people are good.
Yeah.
I think the ArenaNet offices have like a not a costume, but like an actual like real life like Char replica that like from I think it's from Guild Wars 1 technically, but that like or at least they used to. I remember seeing pictures that like someone made and sent them. It's like, oh my god,
Oh, nice.
amazing.
Well, I know they've got like that like Ritlock mask, which just looks actually pretty good.
Yeah, yeah. The Super Adventure Box commercial that they
Commercial was
made.
brilliant. Yeah.
Yeah, they used the a Ritlock costume. Ritlock Brimstone.
That commercial
That
kind of made me
commercial's the
fall in
greatest
love with
thing
this
ever.
game. And you know, it's just so funny too, because like when I like showed it to a bunch of my friends, especially my like fine artist friends who live in Vancouver and the whole art, which is a real artsy place. He's like kind of made a kind of thing for himself to. He's really into weird movies and weird videos. You know, likes making weird things just for the whole artsy weird stuff. So
Yeah.
when I like showed him that trailer, he like he and his friends are just like, what is this? Really, they were like I think seriously kind of disturbed by it, which is why it's so funny. It's like those guys would like love to be as artsy and fartsy, and you're like we're so weird and different. It's like when I show them the really cool weird gamer stuff, they're like, whoa
What is
man,
that?
what the hell is this? I'm like,
That's
isn't
funny.
that cool? They're like, we love you, buddy, but yeah, you're freaking weird, man. It's like, woohoo! And just like, yeah,
That's funny.
yeah. The graphics are too much. Ah! Yeah, that was brilliant. Love that trailer. It's awesome. So yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. And please leave questions, especially now because there's not much going on as far as like
Yes.
new updates and stuff. So leave us questions if you have any, or any discussion topics, even if it's not like a question, just a topic maybe to talk about. Um,
Topics or questions on anything paleontology, you can have.
Indeed.
Seriously, I can.
Yeah,
Yeah.
seriously.
So
It
yeah,
doesn't necessarily have
anything,
to be
guys.
Guild Wars 2 related, even though this is a Guild Wars 2 show, so we kind of want to keep it
Chihuahuas.
on topic. Um, so, whatever.
Where to
Have
get the best
fun.
Chihuahua? Yeah.
Hey, where's my chihuahua? He's
Yeah,
sleeping.
yeah. You should get him to say goodbye. Oh, he's
He's
sleeping. Oh.
sleeping. He's over there.
He says goodbye. He's eating too many boogers, man.
Oh. Ew.
It's adorable.
All right. Take care, guys.
See you guys.
Bye bye. We'll see you next time.